And we're live. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Let me shout out the top five. Shout out Darlene Walter Riley, Laura Newman, Miss Goldie Robinson, Nicole Bazar. Thank you for being here. Nova, up. Stacy and Williams, Elevate Entertainment, and Sandy B, Wanda Chisholm, and Garrick Thom. Thank you for being here. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra big up, shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, the retirees. Shout out to the drivers out there, every driver, Uber, Lyft, you name it, food delivery drivers. Shout out to the long distance truck drivers out there on the road. My brother Troy Stars Trucking Vlogs on YouTube. Troy Stars Trucking Vlogs on YouTube. Go check out Troy's channel and support that brother. All right. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. You're a good person. Shout out to you. Listen, we got some things to talk about this morning, but this one right here, I have a video clip for you. So I'm gonna go into the thing and find the video clip for you, and we're going to talk about this. The main topic this morning is, and we sidetrack as always and get carried away to a broader conversation, but the main topic this morning is surrounded by our enemies. Now, the reason I say surrounded by our enemies is because we truly are surrounded by our enemies, man. Some of them were there in our Caribbean, you see a family will live overseas. Shout out to Muta Baruka. In a good for stay in my country too long. I don't know if y'all know that. Who catch it, catch it. In a good for stay in my country too long. Yeah, I got a video clip for you, right? Someone says, I am awake. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Andreen Stewart. Thank you for being here. Morning, blessed love. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Tamara Brown Ford. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and more people will be coming in a minute. So this video clip that I'm going to show you, an incident happened. Let me set this up first. Terrifying neighbor shoots a black 6-year-old boy in the arm. So he didn't die. Thank God he did not die. Shot him in the arm. He was trying to shoot him, period. He didn't care if it was in the head or in the, and I'm going to explain to you how it all happened. You're going to see the video clip. Shoots a little black boy in the arm while he was trying to retrieve his bicycle from the yard that is in front of his neighbor. The man was released on $10,000 bond. $10,000 bond. So you want to know who did the shooting? You want to know how much a bond is? $10,000 bond. $10,000 bond, you go to the station. $10,000 bond means you're going to pay between $1,000 and $1,500 to get out. And if you can pay that, you're out. And he paid it and he is out. So watch this video right here real quick. The brother Shaka Bars put this video up, and I thought I should share it and have a broader conversation. Because yesterday we did a video talking about, is Jamaica safe? And is Jamaica safe for travel? Whether it's for returning residents, tourists, whatever. And we talked about all that. We gave safety tips and everything. Those of you who were here yesterday morning, you were in tune with that. All right. I read the comment section last night to this morning. Saw each and every comment. And boy, it's like some of you can't wait for someone to ask the question, is Jamaica safe? Before you could even say, is Jamaica safe to travel or anything? No, it's not safe. It's not safe. It's like, we know that it's there are dangerous things going on there, right? But that's why we did the video yesterday, to let you know, to balance the scales, let you know that, hey man, there's a lot of bad going on there, but there's a lot of good going on there as well. You have some bad people there, but you have a whole lot of good people there as well. The vibes still exist. You understand? So don't be paranoid and scared about the thing. Big up to the people that in the comment section who said, one person said, I will be staying at some part in Kingston. And it's funny, I'll be there next week. but it's on the do not go to place list. That kind of stuff. False sense of security. Remember I talked about that yesterday? When you're away for too long, you start to feed into only the negative until you start to get scared of returning. That's what happened to a lot of people. So then people that you meet 10, 15, 20 years, I haven't been back. That's what it is. You know, probably they witnessed something bad while they were there, or they left just to leave. A lot of us didn't witness nothing bad while we had to run away. We just left. Our families migrated. In my case, them draw me away when I was a little kid, so I didn't have any choice and that kind of stuff. But that false sense of security that we develop, and then we walk around and say stuff like, I prefer living in this country and that country, and it's better in that country and that country. All right, balance out the scale some. I remember a brother did a video. I just discovered his channel. Can't remember his name, but when I do, I will share it. He moved away from the US to Jamaica. And of course, he set himself up before he left. And this brother is only a couple of years older than me. I think he said his age, and he's like 7 years or 9 years older than me or something like that. And I said, damn, that's where I want to be, because he has set himself up so that he can earn substantially from the US while living in Jamaica. And he's gone home for good. He packed up, left, sold everything here, and he's gone. He's now there. Some of us can't do that yet, but it's in our plans though. You know, it's like, where are you going to retire? Where are you going to live out the rest of your life? That kind of stuff. And we've chosen Jamaica, right? And one of the things he said was he just got tired. He just got tired of faking it. He just got tired of pretending that it's safer than where he comes from. And he just got tired of pretending that certain things that are happening are not happening. And you can't speak out on this, and you got to shut your mouth and just go through and keep a smile on your face. He was like, he's tired. He's tired of it. He's been there since he was young. He came just like I came to the US since he was young and lived out his whole life. And like I said, he's a few years older than me. So that tells me that he lived a good long life here. And now he's tired. He's done it enough. Put myself in place. Get the hell up out of Dodge, right? Now, not saying that it's the worst place in the world. Just like when I do Jamaican videos, I'm not saying that Jamaica is the worst place in the world. Things happen everywhere. This false sense of security that we have, though, is pretty dangerous. Check this video out.
Making bond on Tuesday. It has this family angry and confused.
I don't know if you can hear it properly.
How he got a bond that was so low for trying to kill my kid.
Arnold Daniel trying to figure out why Ryan Lee Wen is out of jail after allegedly shooting his son Kobe.
He tried to hit me with a sledgehammer, but that's not gonna work because I'm too fast.
Hold on, let me steady the video up and play it over. Let me steady the video up and play it over. I'm trying to put the microphone in so you can actually hear all of this. But listen and pay attention.
Just 3 days after this accused shooter shot a little boy, he walks free, making bond on Tuesday. It has this family angry and confused.
And I'm trying to figure out how he got a bond that was so low for trying to kill my kid.
Arnold Daniel trying to figure out why Ryan Lee Wen is out of jail after allegedly shooting his son Kobe.
He tried to hit me with a sledgehammer, but that's not gonna work because I'm too fast.
So then what did he do?
Got a gun, boom, shot me right here.
It's all on video Saturday afternoon on Candlewood Lane. You'll see kids playing, hear a gunshot, then Kobe
off in the suburbs.
Hit. Lee Wen allegedly fired through his front window. The bullet went in Kobe's arm and out the other side.
Through his front window, he fired.
Did it hurt?
Yes.
You point to it? Show us where it's at.
Right now, he's not even processing exactly what happened. You know, he don't realize how close he came to not being here. but I realize it.
29-year-old Lee Wen is charged with assault with intent to murder. He's apparently had issues with neighbors in the past, and this time, Dad Arnold suspects Lee Wen was mad Kobe's bike was in his yard.
I'm irate, really. I mean, I can't function, and I don't know what to do.
A Washtenaw County judge gave him a $10,000 cash bond, which he made Tuesday. This is him walking out, picked up by family. The prosecutor's office shocked at the low bond. They're filing an emergency motion to get it changed. A judge's order not to return home, but it's a piece of paper, says Arnold.
I'm scared for my family, you know, but I'm scared for them because I don't know what he's capable of.
Reporting in Ypsilanti, Jessica Dupnack.
Black man.
All right. That when I saw that, listen, it's funny because remember I spoke to y'all yesterday about my neighbor and I said the weird way, you know, and I try to joke through it, but I'm a paranoid person. I'm a paranoid person. I don't know if I'm paranoid or I just, like I said, overanalyze everything. But I'm a paranoid person. You see things like these happen, right? Little boy, he's playing up and down the street in the neighborhood that he lives. You know when little kids are playing, like 4 little boys riding a little BMX bike, right? And one of them might jump off the bike and just throw the bike to the side and run or something. That's kids playing. I can run faster than your bike can go. And I'm running. I threw my bike to the side, threw my bike in my neighbor's yard, just at the edge of the lawn, you know. And the lawn meets the sidewalk where it's public. So you would expect your neighbor to look out for your children like they would look out for their own children and not be too offended that the little youth dropped the bike on his lawn or whatever. He's coming back to retrieve the bike. The little boy went back to retrieve the bike. By his own words, he said he tried to hit me with a sledgehammer, but that didn't work because I was too fast. Yo, it's like our kids are in combat. It's like our kids are in combat. First, he tried to hit me with a sledgehammer, but that didn't work because I was too fast. Little boy still was trying to get his bike back, right? So you can imagine him running from the sledgehammer and this man really trying to hit him with a sledgehammer, and all he had to do was pick up the bike. If you're that mad, pick the bike up and toss it out across the street, into the street, whatever, and say, keep your bike off my property if you're that mad. Dude shot through the window. That's to tell you that he wasn't coming outside no more to talk to you. There wasn't going to be no more exchange of words. We're not going to work anything out, and I'm not going to tell you again or warn you to take your stuff off my lawn or don't come on my property. He went in the house and shot through the window. You see the big gunshot in the window. He shoot out the window. He shot through the window and hit the boy. Now, him shooting through the window, he didn't care where that bullet was going. He didn't care if that little boy got hit in the head, if he got hit in the back, in the chest. He did not care. And then look at the system and what the system did. $10,000 bond. You are arrested for shooting a child. And the police ask you, why you shoot the child? I mean, why did you fire your weapon? And you fired it from inside the house after having an altercation outside with a child that was trying to get his bike. Why did you shoot from inside the house at them? And your answer was, you're tired of people being on your property? Right. And you get $1,000, pay $1,000 and you get out. Pay $1,000 and you get out. I want you to notice something else, because I said this before, and I don't know. Some other people seem like they feel like they have to defend others, so they jump down my throat when I say this. But you see the Asian community. Now I don't have anything bad to say about them. I'm not going to sit here and talk about a whole group of people, but I'm saying within the Asian community itself, if you think racism and all that is bad, say within the white community towards black people versus within the Asian community towards black people, it's probably about the same. It's probably about the same. They're just more crafty at how they come across with it. A lot of Asians do business in black communities. A lot of businesses in black communities are owned by Asian people. a lot of real estate, a lot of corner stores and this and that owned by Asian people. And when you go there, you notice how they service you always with a smile. They don't like you, but they understand business, right? They don't like you, but they understand business. That's why when I go to like my own people place to do business, I'm purchasing. Let me stop and support that business here. Sometimes I don't even need nothing, you know. Sometimes I just say, let me stop and support that place here. Let me see what I need. And then I think of things that I need and I buy some stuff from them. The attitude that you get when you get there. It's like you're begging them to please take my money and treat me good because I'm spending it here with you. You go to the Chinese man's store, the Asian people's store, they're smiling. They're, yeah, what you want right over there? And they don't like you. Remember the whole, I watch everything. The George Floyd situation, the whole march, protest, all that. It was a whirlwind of protest, right? I searched all those crowds because I was doing my own maths. I searched all the crowds. I was just looking for one Asian face. Just one. I couldn't find any in none of the crowds. What that tells me is that they're not up on, or they're not about standing up for us, even when we're in need. That's why when the other day the news broke and it was like a couple of series of Asians being assaulted because of whatever, and I saw like black celebrities standing up and saying, no hate, this, that, the same stuff they say for when like they do it for black groups. I thought to myself, these celebrities must only be trying to protect their fan base, right? They're probably trying to protect their fan base because they know damn well that these people don't stand up for us. I mean, why lend yourself to their cause when they won't lend themselves to yours? They will watch you suffer and they will close their doors and hunker down and grab some popcorn and be like, oh, he's shooting him. Oh, he comply, Negro, comply. Oh, he's not complying. They're shooting him. And they won't even come out to tell the police, hey, this is what I saw happen. Them no business with us. You understand? That Adrian Stewart, thank you. I appreciate you greatly. And there was someone else as well. I'm chatting so much this morning. And then Zedra Taylor, blessings, manners and respect, and thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, man. Let me give Asian in US hate crime law, but not black people in US. Yeah, it's a hate crime. Oh, well, the hate crime law applies to all of us. The law is the law, it's there. But how many times does it actually apply or is applied to us in our situations? They'll look at a real hate crime and be like, we don't think it was race motivated. We just think that there was a misunderstanding or an altercation. If you watch that video again, that woman, the reporter, all of them, that's why I say surrounded by enemies, because it's from the media to the people that surround you to that reporter asked that little, is he 6 or 7-year-old boy? She asked the little boy, where did he shoot you? Let me see. He pulls his arm up. He says right here. And she said, did it hurt? Did it hurt? A gunshot to a kid. Did it hurt? What was he supposed to say? No, it didn't hurt. I'm tough like that. They said the bullet went through and went right out the other side. Did it hurt? Think about where he got shot. Right here. Right? In the upper part of his arm, he got shot right here. His head is just right here. Literally, his head is like right there. So that kid could have died. Did it hurt? That's weird. That's weird. You ever notice how they read the news as well? The 24-year-old man today was blah, 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 and no mention of race. And every time they do that and say no mention of race, I know right away what it is. It wasn't a black person. Because if it was a black person, it would have been a 23-year-old black male was seen running down the, and they'll go dig up any kind of picture they can find from you. But for others, the pictures come later. They break the news first, no face, then the pictures come later. False sense of security. You are living in a place where you can get shot down like real fast, any minute. It could go from road rage. I seen a man just jump out his car and just started shooting. It could go from road rage. It could go to somebody is off their medication and just pull up in traffic next to you today and decide that, oh, you're having a good day. Your top is down or your sunroof is open. Your windows are down. Your music is loud. You're enjoying the sunshine and bam, in your vehicle. I wanted to kill one of them anyways. And they go stand up in court. This happened multiple times, by the way, so far, in case y'all don't know it. Young black male pull up in a gas station, playing a little bit of music. Dude shoot from his vehicle straight through the back of the vehicle. The bullet went through the back trunk of the car, through the back seat, and hit that young man and killed him. And he was from a good home too. Daddy is a lawyer, mommy is a some professor, lives in the ritzy part of town, just drove down to the gas station with 2 friends in his car to go fill up gas and died at the gas station. And that's not once or twice or 3 times. It's happened multiple times. We live in that kind of a place. I have never, ever, 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 when I'm in Jamaica, ever felt like anything like that could happen. I might feel like I could get robbed. I might feel like man might try to take me for something else or someone else or run up on me and end up shooting me for some reason or whatever. Because you know, random crimes do happen, but most of our crimes in the Caribbean there, especially in Jamaica, is crimes committed against people that people know already. That's what a lot of these have in common that we don't see. Majority of those are people that they know already, that they have had some dealings with. Oh, tourists, they killed a man because he went down there, retired from England, went to Jamaica, built his big dream house. He's living on the water. He's employed a guy from the community to do some work. Him and the guy had a discrepancy about how much he should be paid. Worked with. These people will shoot you randomly. Oh, your child left his damn bike on my lawn. Bow! It's crazy. Crazy. And we really, so when that brother said, yo, man, I'm done. I'm tired. I was tired. When they asked him, why did you leave? Like, you know, after all these years, what was your purpose for returning? I'm just tired. Tired of pretending. Tired of acting like it's all okay. And giving myself this sense of false security. Y'all go Jamaica this year? No, son, I'm not go back down there. You know, see how them kill people down there. The crime rate is high, the murder rate is high. But look where you at. You in the middle of the storm. We are. We are. The only difference I say here is this. First of all, let me say, Duppy know who for frightened. And y'all know what I mean by that. Duppy know who for frightened. Okay? Because and stuff like this right here, you're not shooting nobody, kid, in Jamaica just for putting their bike on your lawn and think you're going to get out on a $1,000 bail and it's all good. It ain't going to be all good. You have to go lift up. See? But Duppy know who for frightened. And even in the US, Duppy know who for frightened. But with that said, crazy man, we're not going back to Jamaica because the crime rate too high. I will never return. And you want to see what's happening right here, like around you? You might be next. You got to be careful out here. You got to be careful out here. SouFlo, you heard about the white retired astronaut that killed 2 black girls while driving drunk and only got 4 years in jail? Wow. No. Nah. But this type of stuff happens all the time. Y'all forget the brother that I forgot which Caribbean island he came from. But the youth is like brilliant, right? Brainy when it comes to accounting, crunching numbers and, you know, statistics and these things. And they hired him, a Fortune 500 company Bottom Jean. His name was Bottom Jean. Remember that? And I believe the officer's name was Geiger, the female officer, who said that she was tired coming from work and she just opened the wrong door and went in the wrong apartment. And I thought it was an intruder, so I shot him and killed the guy. Remember that? And his brother came down and gave her a hug in court after she killed his brother. Yeah, you just stumbled into the wrong apartment. Right, right. A trained police officer that lives on a different floor of the apartment building. You just so happen to get off the elevator at the wrong floor, walk down the wrong hallway. None of these doors you passed to get to this man's door, and his door was all the way down. None of these doors you passed to get to his door reminded you that my floor don't have a red door. It smells different on this floor. What's going on in here? Nothing alerted you. You just so happen to blindly, so tired from work, sweltering, it's hot in this vestibule, get off elevator, walk, go to the wrong floor off the elevator, go to the wrong door. This man was in his apartment working on his computer while the TV was going and eating ice cream in his underwears. Okay? It doesn't get more innocent than that. George, I appreciate you. Thank you. It doesn't get more innocent than that. But we are so trained to pretend that, one off, don't really happen. God, I feel bad for his family. On with life. That's the pretend that brother was talking about when he said, I just got tired. I just got tired. Because it happens all the time. It happens so often. And we got to just keep pretending that, hey, it could be you. I could go through multiple stories. There's a story where the police hit the wrong house, kick off the door, run in, shoot in the dark in the house, in the kids' room, and shot that little girl in her bed. She's at grandma's house. The only two people in the house was grandma and the little girl. Shot her in her bed. None of those police officers were held accountable. None of them got jail time. They just said, oops, we had bad intelligence and hit the wrong house. The house we were supposed to hit was on the other block over. It's not even like they could have said, well, she's a granny, but her grandson is the one who harbors criminals, and that's who we were trailing, and we thought he would have been in there. Nothing, completely unassociated with what they were doing. Granny in her house with her granddaughter, and the little girl went to bed. And grandma went to bed, and boom, door kick off. Gunshot fire in the apartment, kill the little girl in her bed. You get tired. You get tired of being paranoid. You get tired of telling yourself, I'm good, I'm good. It'll never happen to me. It can't happen to me. I'm all right. It only happens over there, and it only happens to them. But if I dress a certain way, if I speak a certain way, if I move a certain way and make people around me feel comfortable, if I conform all the way to what they want me to be, then I'll be all good. And you do all that and still end up getting the same treatment. So yeah, that false sense of security, that's why I need a refresher. That's why I need a refresher. And every time I start feeling a certain kind of way, booking my ticket. Go soak up some energy to come back to continue to deal with. You know, it's like my tank runs low. And when the tank runs low, you got to refill, or you run out of fuel and you're stuck, right? It's the same thing, man. Mentally, my tank runs low, get drained. And I'm like, hey, be about time to go Jamaica. Yeah. When we go? All right, book some tickets, blah, blah, blah. Let's get up out of here. I enjoy it here. I won't say I don't. I enjoy it here. There's good and bad everywhere, you know? But that part, and you raising your kids here too, I'm extra proud because I got kids. If it was me alone, it would be okay. But you got to think about this. Your children could get shot for no reason other than, classmate daddy owns 100 guns and teaches classmate how to shoot. He goes hunting with daddy. Classmate is 14. Besides that, nobody in my class likes me. I'm not in a cool group. Comes to school one day with an AR-15 and 4 magazines, 30 rounds apiece, like they're in the military, and start shooting up the whole school. Your poor kid goes to school doing exactly what you would expect them to do. This is what makes you proud as a parent. When I send my kid to school, I'm not in up a friend yard, I'm not down the street, I'm not anywhere. He's in school. He's in class where he should be. Front and center, learning. And gunshot rip off classroom, how many multiple children that over and over and over. This false sense of security. Man go shoot up the whole grocery store, big Walmart. So I do this video this morning, right, to pull some people into reality, because I saw too many comments yesterday that said stuff like, oh, me now go back. Yeah, worst place in the world. Oh, it's like, long story short, no, and hell no. And somebody said to me yesterday in the comment section of that video about my childhood and about, because the person gave some messed up comment and I said, I'm sorry. Oh, the person said something about I need to interview some Jamaican women and see if they had a good childhood, if they had good lives, and some of the little boys, them too, that got boogered out and this and that and whatever. I said to him, I said, I'm sorry, I can tell by your comment that you went through some things, because we're talking about returning, and he's one of the people who will never return kind of thing. No, go back there. Not all of us had horrible childhoods. Okay? And this is what I was trying to explain to him. Not all of us had horrible childhoods. In Jamaica, not all of us had horrible childhoods. I had a splendid childhood. My thing about my childhood is it's sad for me to see the reality that the times have changed so quickly that the children now are not getting to enjoy the same things that I did. You know, in a lot of places, there's a lot of stuff going on where the children are fearful. Parents have to drip up their kids a little bit more, lock them in a little bit more, be more vigilant over them than ever before. I don't know if some of y'all remember, like, if you know country people or not, but when we had tear down banana piece and through cane field and Akiwak, and there wasn't nobody there guiding us, or oh, we have to watch them close, and because somebody might do them something and my little daughter might run out there so and not come back. And you know, the place have changed, heavily influenced by media, like, you know, the foreign movies and the videos and streaming through all angles. So we've become influenced, because when I was growing up, we didn't have any of that. When I was that young in Jamaica, we didn't have any of that. So we weren't influenced by anything but, and you can tell that media is a big influence. Why? Because Karachi is what we used to play. Karachi. Karate, we call Karachi. Karachi is what we used to play. We used to play Karachi, right? Everybody want to be some karate man from the last karate movie we saw, because that's probably what all we saw. And that was what was on TV. Now you have everything on TV. Man show you how to load the clip on when you're done fire and the clip is empty, how to drop clip and load the next clip quick, and man show you how graphic scenes in movies and videos too. They blame dancehall, I don't. Graphic scenes in movies and videos too. Graphic rape scenes, graphic sex scenes, graphic murder scenes, graphic. So we're inundated with that in the Caribbean. And of course we have an influence. It influenced our culture and the change. But my childhood in Jamaica, man, was splendid. I wish I could give that childhood to every child that's growing up now. I wish. I was well protected. I was well cared for. I come from a community that cared for the children in the community. You couldn't pass no house. You couldn't pass no grown people on the road and not say, morning, Master George, evening, Miss Smith, that kind of stuff. You get drip, right? So we grew up different, but everybody in there cared about you. Everybody. And anybody who wasn't in line with peace and love and family and was disrupting the peace in the community, I think we invented jungle justice because that's how it used to go. You would have to run out of that. You touch somebody's child around there, you have to run out of that. You know what I mean? Now it's different. Now it's different. Now big man stand up on corner in a group with other big man who could tell him, nah man, don't look over there, so I pick that. And when him say, yo, you see the girl back around, you have a next big man there where I say, yeah, me see it, you know. Damn. You know, we lost ourselves and we enjoy watching each other be lost. That kind of thing has seeped into the culture more than ever before. It wasn't like that before. It wasn't like that before. So to the brother who said, if he was trying to be sarcastic, SouFlo, you look like you did go through some things like, yeah, hold something back. Are you sure your childhood was okay? Laugh, 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 crying, laughing face. My childhood was splendid. Splendid. Remember, I started out primary school, basic school. We started basic school in our church. That's what we used to keep with basic school. And we went from basic school to primary school. Primary school up the hill, they start wearing uniform and these things. I only went to regular primary school for like 2 years. And then my mom made sure that I got to Knox. So I started going to Knox from Knox Prep. So I was already like being around foreign children, right? And I used to like watch their life and stuff. Cause you know, if you don't know about Knox, one time school let out, I remember this one girl, her mom came to pick her up. Her mom was riding a motorcycle. It was a Harley. Them time that me don't know what Harley is, with the custom handlebars that go way up here. Mother dressing all leather vest with a leather chops over jeans and boots and these things. And she pull up, right? And is a limo. She on a black Harley and is a black limousine is following her. So that's the kind of school I went to in Jamaica. So we started out regular primary school and then my mom made sure we went up there. Most of the kids then we have a whole heap of boarders that were up there at the time. So these are children that their parents were well off. And I remember Nancy Corrigan, her father owned the airline in Cayman Islands back then at the time. So them are the kind of people that we were able to rub elbows with from an early age, right? And we used to like wonder how their lifestyle is kind of like, you know, and we wished, because we're leaving in limo to go on summer holiday. And in my mind, I'm thinking, damn, I'm gonna go up on a plane, I'm gonna fly out. Time I hadn't flown out yet. I'm gonna fly out, they're gonna be in heaven or our fantasy of what foreign is. And when I say foreign, I'm talking like UK, Canada, US, that kind of stuff. And we weren't going anywhere. I was going back to the hills, back to the bushy area where I come from. And it was going to be the same thing all over for me again. But I never felt like I had less. And I never felt that I wasn't protected. And I never felt like I wasn't loved. And I got beatings, but I never, and even with those beatings, which I today look at those beatings and say, if I did that to my child, it would be abuse. But the beating there, to some extent, formed my personality, as in militant in the mind, militant about doing good, militant about being a better person, militant about striving for better. You know what I'm saying? Because them beat that, you know, but that's gone now. That's gone now. You can't beat no picnic nowadays. But anyhow, that false sense of security that we have when we come here, I've heard people talk about they never going back. I'm not throwing no stone behind me, and I can't. I can't, because that's the reality. You know, over the years, people said, SouFlo, why you not talk more about the US? And of course, there are other people who say, him can't do it. A little Jamaica can have strength for, because nobody here now gonna do him nothing. But if him open him mouth and say nothing about the US, listen, I never talked about the US in depth and in length and dwelled on it, because you understand building a platform, you understand building a brand, you understand catering to a specific genre, that kind of stuff, then things will come in there that they just don't want to hear. I used to try to do videos, talk about my time in the Army, places that I went to, experiences I had. I got a lot of bad feedback from the Jamaican audience, so I had to tweak my thing over the years. Enough of them didn't want to hear nothing. Why I put this on for? This is not Jamaican content. Technical flag, man. A Yankee something I deal with. We don't want to hear none of that and that. So I just left it. And I just kind of focused more on Jamaican, Caribbean, and every now and then I'll do some international stuff, right? But now that brand is established, I can actually talk. We have freedom of speech. You're free to say what you want to say. They're free to do to you what they want to do to you after you say what you want to say. So in other words, then be careful about what you say. And not just foreign, that's in Jamaica as well. That's everywhere. Everywhere. So here we are, man, looking at the reality of where we are at. Surrounded by enemies, thinking we have friends when we don't. Surrounded by enemies. And I love when the little 1 and 2 Asians that are Jamaican or have Jamaican background jump in the comment section and say stuff like, my family, we love everybody and all this other stuff. Yeah, sure you do. Sure you do. Sure you do. They won't even be honest. Not even the ones that we know won't even be honest. They don't really like us. They don't really like us. We have us, okay? We have us. The problem with us is we don't realize that we have us and that's all we have is us. So we suffer in the meantime. Yeah. Suffer in the meantime. But anyhow, my childhood was lovely. Even though I grew up in a drug-infested gunman hood, I went away to country every summer and spent time on family farm. Nice. That's Makeda X words. Makeda was sharing her story. She said her family, her childhood life in Jamaica was good, even though she grew up in a gunman area and all these things. But she used to go away to country every summer, spend time on a family farm. That was nice. Yeah. Not everybody was traumatized, man. Not everybody was molested. Not everybody was, and that's what makes it sad, is because when you do come across those that were, you feel like, wow, that's what you were going through at that age. At that age, then I was making my own toys. You know, me used to make gig and use bottle, grass bottle, broken bottle pieces and shave up my gig, and then find some of my grandfather sandpaper and smooth up my gig. And you used to tell yourself, say, yo, man, make my gig smooth and flat on the top. Cause one time my boy dropped me gig in a real country boy, you know. That's that you were going through all that. I was out there fashioning my own toys. Box juice, box and use, buckle cover, make wheel upon them, and I'm a truck that. No toy better than those toys to me. Was going through all that. So we advocate for those that either went through or are still going through, and for those to come that will be born in those situations where they will have to go through that type of SHI, you know what. See, so when I'm trying to speak to some people, I want people to understand on a broader level. Just know that that's how SouFlo speaks. So you have to go through the conversation with him. Yeah, don't just take pieces and then come tell me about, you know, say you look like you was traumatized when you was growing up down there, like Jamaica do you something. That's why you talk so about. Listen to my conversation and listen to it good. I hurt for the people, the little youth them who don't get a chance to experience what I experienced in Jamaica. I could be selfish. I could be turning my nose the other way, like, oh well, I feel them look that I feel sins of the father fall on the children. Yeah, them are so far. All right, me over here, so my life good. Because really and truly, my life always been good. You know, I come foreign, live with mommy, and then mommy and daddy divorce and these things to get personal. So I was one of those kids that went through parents divorcing and we were affected. And then daddy said he was coming and he never showed up. And you pack your little bag and went to go sit down and he never show up. And then after that, you stop pack your bag. Yeah, and then you stop talk to him too. And you started growing and becoming more independent. All that happened in foreign. That never happened in Jamaica. That happened in foreign. And it's funny how a lot of couples who would stay together if they were in Jamaica, soon as them reach foreign, divorce is on the way. You know, it's funny, but I was a product of all that. But my childhood in Jamaica, man, listen, I would trade everything to do. I would do it all over again. I would do it all over again. No regrets. No regrets. Even the lick them was funny. After now that I look back on the lick and the beating them it's funny. You know when them a beat you and them a talk to you when when them a beat you, that's how my grandmother was. And I'm a granny, you know, I grew up with, you know, cause see, let me show you how much foundation I come from. All right. And these are the things that y'all missed out on. I had real grandparents. I didn't have young grandparents. I had real grandparents that were grandparents. See, they were old enough to be grandparents. They were established in life already to be grandparents. They raised all their children, sent them off, everybody in good direction, and then took their children's children in. I say, yeah, man, we're still young enough and can do it. Y'all go out there and make sure you stabilize yourself, set everything good, and when you do that, then you can come get the grandkids. That's the kind of life that me had. I call that luxury. Now that I'm looking at it, that was luxury. That was luxury. And I had the grandmother's love and teaching. My grandmother to this day, all I have to do is show up and she just start crying. And she says, tears of joy, babies, tears of joy. Grandma, just happy to see you. That, my childhood, man, I understand some of y'all have been traumatized though, man. I understand. And that is why people like me, there are a lot of them out there like me. So don't make it look like everybody in Jamaica, like Jamaica is just one big molestation. It's not. It's not. I feel bad for those who actually live through the foolishness. But it's not. Some of us know what a childhood is. I know what a childhood is. My childhood was not taken away. My childhood, I lived a childhood. I lived a real childhood. Me, I got bush with grandpa. You know what my grandfather used to do? My grandfather had a big coffee mug, right? And then drinking coffee early in the morning. Sometimes this man leave when it's dark. Go into the bushes, and we used to be like rolling calf and them something in there. Grandpa like him coming like a superhero cow, swinging one machete gone in the bush and it dark in there. That's down where the grave them is and all that. Me nah go down there so. And he is back before we even leave for school, and then come back with a big hand of banana, right? Drop it on the front veranda. We pick fresh banana and just chop down, eat some banana and them thing. This is after breakfast, you know, or carry a banana with you for the road. And he's finished drinking his coffee, and me and my brother and my cousin, three little boy, we used to fight over who get the cup this morning. Because when grandpa drink him coffee, he'll put the sugar in there, but he never mix out the sugar. So the sugar is settled at the bottom. So on the coffee we are going to find out, we are going for the sugar is settled at the bottom of the cup. So it's who getting the cup this morning? No, Joanne, you get it yesterday morning, and my turn. And grandpa have to manage the thing. All right, it's your turn this morning. And all your grandfather coffee cup you did want, right? Them kind of childhood there, I could go on and on, man. I could go on and on. My grandmother, every morning what used to wake us up was the smell plantain fry. Smell plantain fry. To this day, nobody never make this for me yet. She make dumpling, fried dumpling, and when you bite the fried dumpling, you see a corned beef in the middle. All them something there, and you're planting them lay up on your plate. Like, I had a really good childhood. Really good. Stepping off the veranda before you go in the morning, you get a teaspoon of cod liver oil. We didn't understand them stuff there. Why grandma make me drink a nasty bit of something here? You know, and Cersei at night time before you go to bed. And we wonder why we grow up with immune system so strong. Some people say, SouFLo, how old are you? How old are you? I mean, I look on them and I'm like, when some of them say their age, and I'm like, damn, boy. Like, really, damn, boy, like you had a rough 20 years or what? Because you don't look nothing about no 20-year-old. We get cared. We got cared. All right? You stay away too long and you forgot all about where you came from and how much was invested in you. I'm not talking about the one that was abused and molested and had to run. All right? I sympathize with them. But someone want to grow good. I want to decide, me not go back because the country I mash up and keep like it. Where you at mashing up too? You just have been trained over the years. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good here, I'm good here. I mean, you tell yourself that stuff long enough, you start to believe that you really are. Until your kid or your grandkid dropping bicycle on the neighbor lawn and get shot. Tell yourself that. A lot was poured into you and you forgot. That's why I say I can't be ungrateful and I can't throw no stone behind me and cannot go back. Why grandma give me this caliber oil every morning? That you step off at the veranda before we go get to the school vehicle to go to school. Caliber oil nasty. Cersei at night time, this big carotid Cersei every night with 2 water crackers. Go to your bed. This is after dinner. I had dinner and supper. Okay? So I don't know what it's like to go to bed hungry. I don't know what it's like. I come from a farming community. We had food in abundance. I used to walk and eat so much food off the land alone that when it was time to eat, my grandmother used to say, don't eat too much of that because it'll run your belly. You're down there, try shell down a whole hand of banana by yourself and these kind of things. And no, I didn't have nobody telling me you're eating too much of the bananas, you have to leave some for somebody else. Me never have to hide my plate so and eat and no, you can't get none because food was short, or me get extra everything from me little from me born till now. My life was good. And I wish, man, but I can't turn my back on that and come sell myself no false reality. But SouFlo, you served in the US military. You're supposed to say this is the best country on earth. And this is, but it is though. It is. In many ways it is. Because had I not gotten these opportunities to do all the things that I've done here with myself, I got 6 kids, right? Me, main breadwinner for 6 children. And I don't collect welfare. I don't ask nobody for nothing. I don't have to walk and beg. I've been able to get to a position to where things are smoothed out, right? So, and I do thank the US for all that. But let's be honest, I'm a black man in this place, okay? And I get treated just like that, like every other does. And I go through all the same insecurities. Maybe I have to like dress this way. I have to fix my hair that way. Maybe it's better to just shave off all my hair. Maybe it's better to, I have to do you have to constantly always be adjusting and readjusting and fixing to make others feel comfortable and good, especially being a man. And you can't step in a space and be a man. You have to always be subservient to somebody else. Dumb it down, tone down, take some of the bass out your voice, act a little bit effeminate even. They'll like you then. So when the brother saying get tired, I feel him. I feel him. All right. I talked to some people this morning. We're at 53 minutes into the hour. Noel Harrison says I became a man at 9. I don't know what that's like. I've been a kid. I did my whole kid life, my whole child life. Don't call the picnic them kid. I know goat. I remember that. Don't call for picnic I call kid. I know goat. It's children. But yeah, I lived my whole kid life. Like for real. And I'm so grateful to my grandparents, man. My grandparents instilled so much in me. I can't even explain it. Everything. My grandfather is my man. Okay? That's the first man in my life was my grandfather, my mother's father. That man taught me what it means to be a stand-up man, to accept responsibility, man, to go without if you have to so that your family will be okay kind of man. To be respected within your community and your surroundings, carry yourself in a certain manner, man. That man that laid the foundation. So when I see him now, it's like, oh, he gave me so much. He gave me so much. So man like me can't stop go. Let me kill me now, but you have man. I have man. SouFlo, man. Why? But okay, I know how y'all do. Noel, we love you. I hope that experience made you a better father. Blessings. What did Noel say? So I'm not too self-absorbed. Mine was a nightmare. Abused from I was a toddler right up to the teenage stage. I'm good. Wow. Boy, so flow when we stay with the grandparents, sulfur bitters kill me. I tell you, you know, Baron James, listen up. Sulfur bitters, Baka Cersei, Baka, Baka Cersei. So Noel Harrison says my childhood was very poor as a child. Walk the streets, beg and pick up bottles to sell in order to eat. I don't want them bomber clock life there again. Jah know. Mm. You see that? Boy, brother, and I understand why you would say you don't want that life again. Sad that you had it in the first place. So when we advocate and say certain things, even for Noel, I hope you're better now. I'm pretty sure you are, because you say you don't want them life again. That means you don't have that life again, right? But continue striving, man. It ain't where we from, it's where we're at and where we're going. You know what I'm saying? So continue striving. Continue striving for better, and never forget where you come from. That's one of the biggest mistakes that people do. They forget where they come from and they lose sight. And then they have no idea where they're going because they forgot where they came from. Trust me when I tell you this. If your paper is good, if you can travel, if you've been away for too long, take a trip. Especially if you're feeling drained, uninspired, unmotivated, all these things, take that trip. I don't care if you have to go stay in a resort because you haven't been back in a long time and you don't really know the place again and all these things. Take that trip. Somebody said yesterday, why are you sending people to go? It's the same person that questioned my childhood. He said, why are you sending people to go die in Jamaica by telling them to take a trip? I know how we go to Jamaica all the time. I'm not dead. What are you talking about? Some of y'all just go overboard, you know, and then they try to twist that narrative to make it look like I'm the one that's pushing that narrative. That's why stuff like that I got to start speaking out against. I'm not pushing that kind of narrative. Trust me, if you're feeling all those things I just said, take a trip. You will be surprised. You might think that it won't do nothing for you, but it does. It does. Anytime I want to reboot, refocus, because every time I go home, I see all the things that, you know, I still see the poverty, and and when I go, I'm reminded of like all that was poured into me. I get to walk around the same land I grew up on. I get to really reminisce. And think about the things that were planned back then, the goals, the original intent, the original goals I had for myself, and these kind of things. And I come back charged. I look around. I see all that my people have accomplished there, like my grandparents and them, all they've accomplished there. And I look around and I say, wow, yeah, all right. I was getting a bit tired. Take a few days, you know, I have to burn some good herb, eat some good food, soak up some good spirit, and I'm back. And then I'm back recharged and ready to go again. It will do something for you. So if you're feeling drained, uninspired, unmotivated, and all that stuff, if you have a little money, take a trip. And it don't have to be a lot of money. You don't have to stay in a no big fancy place and all these things. There are safe places out there for you to stay that are cheap. And I'm talking to the people who haven't been back in a while, so you kind of lost touch, right? For the ones who go back all the time, you know exactly what I'm saying, and that's the reason why you go back all the time too. And you know that. You know that. All right? Exactly. Queenie, more life, what's that? But Jano, we need to invest in a Jamaica youth. We invest in Jamaica, fam. We invest in Jamaica by investing in ourselves first. First, you have to take care of you. Whatever y'all get from this video today, remember this though. You have to take care of you, okay? So investing in Jamaica per se is me investing in me first. If I am not well invested in, I won't have anything to give back. I can't pour nothing out of an empty container. My container full, I have a lot to pour. You understand? So I'm one of those people, the more I make, the more I give. The more I get, the more I give. The more I receive, the more I return. You understand? And that's the way it works. That's the way it should work. But me have to take care of me. So I'm investing in Jamaica, even without saying, oh, I have this property down there or this or that. Bar none, invest in me first. Invest in me first. That way, I have something to give back. Yo, come here, you. Let me show you how to do this the right way, because you're doing it wrong. You got the right idea, and this could really be your bread and butter, but you're not doing it right. So this is what I've learned, and this is what you need to incorporate right here. Check this out. Do this, bam, 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 bam. Oh, SouFlo, thank you so much. Oh my God, I can't repair you. Don't say nothing. Just go on and make something out of it. That kind of stuff, you got to invest in you first, right? William Carr says, love you too. Just put message together. Signed Judah, Takesha Boo. Mine was messed to some extent, but it was still wonderful. It fashioned my future. So, are there a lot of people in here who have a regretful childhood, like they wish they had never gone through it? Because that one brother that just said he did have to pick up bottle and sell them, forget something to eat and walk barefoot and these things. Are there a lot of y'all that feel that way about your childhood? You know, I grew up with a lot of kids that didn't have shoes and stuff, but them never poor, if you know what I mean. Like they didn't have to resort to walking barefoot and pick up bottle to sell and all these things. Nature Man says, boy, I need to return to yard. Nature Man, wagwan. Manners and respect, bro, and thank you for being here. You need to return to yard. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. 17 years never been to Jamaica, but him love Portland, tell him that's where we need to buy a house in Jamaica. 17 years. Ooh, you going to a whole different Jamaica, whoever that is. If you left 17 years ago, you won't recognize Jamaica when you return. Your community might still be the same if you come from down a country like me. My community is pretty much still the same. Same families, just people got older. But roads that used to be dirt road and used to slide with when rain fall, and we have to find somewhere else to walk go and all that. Them things are fixed. We now have good road. People can drive all the way up in the mountains and down in which part we live and these things. But for the most part, cousin have business down there. I wish I could live it again. Queenie Morris says, I wish I could live it again. Same thing for me, Queenie Morris. I wish I could live it again. Stacey and Williams says, my childhood was good. My grandparents did not play. We had all that we needed, love, food, and discipline. Sounds like mine. My grandparents never played. My grandfather licked in January, and he knew when him licked in January, so that lick there was going to connect and carry you all the way to December. You don't want to get licked by him again. Probably sometime around the next January, you will start to lose yourself a little bit, and you'll have to drip you again. But it's a one lick man that's how he used to be, and he didn't play. And the thing I loved was seeing the balance. Like, he allowed my grandmother to be the matriarch, the runner of the house kind of thing. And he stayed in his lane, which was his farming, his farms, his business and thing. And he never argued with her much or nothing. But she also made sure that he was well taken care of. You know what I mean? She also made sure he was well taken care of and well respected. I never heard her talk out of place to this man. Never heard her get mad and call him no names or nothing like that. So I lived in one of them one day too. Jamaica says, I grew up rich. We had a roof over our head, food, water, light. That's rich to me. That I don't need to say no more. I don't need to say anymore. And worse, if you had love. You heard the man say, we grew up rich. I had a roof over my head, food, water, light. If you had love in that, you grew up wealthy. We didn't know it. Grew up eating organic food. We didn't know that. I go to the fruit and vegetable stand the other day. I tried to buy some yellow yam, piece of yellow yam up here. $2 and something a pound, and you know, say yellow yam heavy. So by the time you slice off a little piece like this and put it on the scale, that's it. You need a good sizable piece to go feed the family. Yeah, you're picking up about 15, 20 US for a little piece of yellow yam like this. And we used to just sit at, run past it. Don't run past the yam hill, you know. Grandpa kill you. Run around the yam hill them. We grew up eating organic food. We grew up with love. We grew up with discipline. Didn't feel like we were raising ourselves or we were in this all alone. So I said, dang, that's a long time ago. 17 years is a long time. SouFlo, how was your grandfather doing after your grandmother passed? I hope he is fine. So my grandparents that live in Miami, that grandmother passed away. My grandfather, of course, now is aging. So he's taking on all the stuff that aging people take on. You know, what we say, head I get a water, don't remember too much. He remembers a lot, but, you know, disheveled a bit, which is what comes with that age. You live that long. But he's doing all right for the most part. He's doing all right for the most part. He has help. He has someone that lives there with him, takes care, make sure he's okay all the time, and help him get around and stuff. Grandma is gone. My grandmother was fine, man. Nothing from one day to the next. And this is a woman, again, on both sides of my family. My grandparents were life partners, got together really young and created all this out of just them two. And they're still together. So my grandparents in Jamaica, they're still together. That's my grandmother in Jamaica that I told you just lost her leg. And she didn't have diabetes or nothing like that. She apparently was sitting down too much. A blood clot formed. The blood clot expanded, cut off circulation to the main artery that carries blood to your leg. And that's how she ended up losing her leg. Like, she wasn't sick or nothing like that. So but she's there and she's surviving even through this. And she still has a sense of humor even through this as she's aging. So they're still together. That's the grandfather that I said, that's my mom's parents. That's the grandfather that I said is my first man, because he taught me everything. Me watching him as a child growing up, always admired him and said, that's the kind of man that I wanted to be when I grow up, right? My grandmother that passed was in the US. And my grandfather he's getting along. He has support, he has family around him and all that. He's getting along. Thanks for asking though, Aurora Mary. Thank you for asking. There's Tasha Prayer. Tasha Prayer says, was dying to be grown up, was physically abused by my mother, and my dad migrated from the beginning of primary school. My cousins picked on me. The physically abused part. You see that cousin picked on part there? We can't really, I don't really see that as anything bad, because that's how we were raised. You know, if anybody I was going to fight with, it was going to be my cousins, because we didn't really associate with anybody else outside of, unless you were in school or something, or church. But who we closely associate with is who all the fight can go on with and everything else. But that abused part, physically abused by mom, and daddy migrated and left. So yeah, them angles. A lot of kids go through that. A lot of kids go through that. My parents migrated and left us there with my grandparents, and we were well protected. We were well cared for. We were well disciplined as well. So it's a total opposite. Sorry you went through that. I wonder how your mom feels now. Because you know parents that abuse their children, when the child grows older and then you start tell them stuff or ask them stuff, why you treat me like that when I was little? Because now you can say something, right? So you ask, why did you treat me like that when I was little? And they have a totally different recollection of what happened. They have a totally different recollection. Now my head is shaved. You can see it. See that? All right, that's on my head boss. Right, that's all. And that was grandma beating. She was beating me with a belt, and the buckle from the belt caught my head and bust my head. And I had on a white t-shirt. I've told this story many times. I had on a white t-shirt that day with a train on it, and it says Washington, D.C. That time I used to dream of foreign, and I thought I'm going to be riding in Washington, D.C. one day on this train that's on my shirt kind of thing. But my parents migrated, left us there with the grandparents, and the grandparents were really strict. Really, really, really strict. So strict that in my household, we didn't even play secular music, as it's called. Not even the radio station was allowed to be played if it played anything other than gospel. So they used to find some gospel music and a gospel music alone play. When TV got turned on, the only thing that got watched was news. Grandpa watching news and then turn off the TV. Or that kind of stuff. My uncle, them now when they came to visit, and my aunties, they would stay up late at night. And now I understand what was going on. Them parents gone to bed, them sneak around and back, roll up a little thing, come in. That time, this is my auntie and uncle, you know, so we're still little. And we used to see them, yeah? And they would be out in the living room watching karate movie because it's on late. And they would tell us, come watch a movie. Don't worry about grandma, man. She gone to bed. Come watch the movie and these kind of things. So, was dying to grow up. Boy, I don't know. I wish I could do it all over again. Them normally claim they don't remember. Oh, Brains is here. Babe, what? You said them normally, yeah, they normally claim they don't remember, or them claim say I saw it go. When grandma bust my head, I asked grandma years later. When I asked her years later, she said, but I don't remember it, so. And I'm trying to explain to her exactly how it went. And she said, I remember I actually picked her up from the airport because she came to visit, and I was in Miami at the time. And I picked her up from the airport, Miami International Airport, and we had drive. And we get to talking, right? And we talk about all kinds of things from the airport to the house. So that came in. So I thought to myself, you know, I'm big and strong now, so I'm surely can ask her question now. You know, half of the time, don't even do that, because let me tell you something about Jamaican parents and grandparents, okay? You will always hold that position that you have. Your position in the family is always that position. Them not care whether you're a doctor, lawyer, you grew up to become this, that, and the other. You are always that position right there. So as long as there's love that come with it, just take it. May I ask her about my head? How she bust my head on these things? Grandma said, eventually she said, well, you know, you would remember it better than I would, cause who feels it knows it. For like a split second, this woman that I love so much, for like a split second, I felt like I wanted to just push her out the car. Like, and I was that heated. You know, cause I'm going into the conversation, I'm talking about how the thing happened, how my head get bust, how my shirt did bloody up, and all these things. As she did, I try to play it off about, no, darling, don't, grandma don't remember it. That's how she was like, grandma don't remember it like that. I don't remember me. No, don't remember anything like that. I said, grandma, yes, he was beating me with the belt. You know, I mean, then they talk about, sometimes we used to be like, you lick me also, because you want them to stop. My grandmother used to be like, and that's so if you lick you never lick me there, no. But me used to say, lick me also, like, you lick me in my ears are close to my eye, lick me also, so she can't stop. And she used to say, and that's so if you catch you, that never make her stop, so me stop saying lick me also. But there was a big man, I confront her about these things, like, you bust my head. I understand you was beating me. I don't remember what I did. Honestly, I was one of them kids that was mischievous too. I used to do all kind of madness. I remember one time I opened a gallon of paint, and them times I we have to carry water, you know, and we were going through a drought too. And I had to open. We had to carry water and fill up drums. So we carry water, we fill up drum. Multiple trips down a spring, fill up the drum, them up the hill with the big bucket by your head, fill up the drum. All the drums are full. I see a can of paint. I open this can of paint now with I don't know what to use, a knife, a screwdriver, a machete, something. And for some reason, I just thought if we pour it in the drum of water and use one big stick and mix it, I'm going to see what kind of color it would make, or if it's going to dilute it, is red, it probably going to turn pink or something. I say, I did that just one of them kind of picnic them. I did like real problematic because I was so inquisitive. We used to catch bullfrog and put 4 sticks in the ground and get card and tie the bullfrog, stretch him out, so see, and go through my uncle them and auntie them college book about me had the surgery and find razor blade and cut the bullfrog open and these kind of things and go in there and try to identify real thing, try to identify organs at the heart that I think I'm liver this and kidney them here. Yeah, in them kind of make up like human though. They even got needle and thread and try sew bullfrog belly back. We couldn't get the thing for it work right. So sew bullfrog as much as I could and these things. So I was really out there as a kid. That's why I say I got a chance to be a kid. I got a chance to really be a kid. Meltadora name dirt. I've been name the dirt. I'm finding a certain kind of dirt that had a kind of like a sweet taste to it. My dirt, my climb tree gone way up in a pine tree and these things. Drop out a tree and all these things. Never broke nothing though. Fling stone and lick down wasness and run though. All kind of something. But yeah, grandma said, I don't remember it like that, you know. But I guess you would remember it better than me because who feels it knows it, baby. Grandma, I tell you the truth. From she said that, I was quiet, and this was like halfway from Miami International Airport to the house, and we were living about 40, 50 minutes from the airport. About 20 minutes of the ride there, me never have nothing more to say. Cause one wicked part of me was like, you saw your bus man, but look on you, and me I pick you up from the airport now, don't. I have some me live. Like I feel like more push her out of the car. Like, don't entertain them kind of thoughts, the youth. So I didn't entertain the thoughts any further. You know what I'm saying? But a small part of me wanted some kind of revenge. Because the woman bust my head. But she left her mark on me, literally. She left her mark on me. And she left her mark on me in other ways. In other ways. Respectful, compassionate, loving, trying to help others. Kind of all them something that we get from she same way, just like that, because she instilled those things, you know. Don't do anything to people that you don't want them to do to you. If you would never want somebody to do that to your child, don't do it to their child. These kind of things. So I saw me grow, yeah. But we didn't want my revenge though. Bust me right to the head. I'm gonna say, yo, my head bleeding up, people. When my head bust, my head bleed like. I would have thought that my whole head top was gone because all I was seeing was blood. Because me I get licked. And you know when they hold on for you and they beat you and they're not letting you go, so you jump up and down all over the place. You try sight lick. I try to sight all the lick now. A lick are coming from everywhere. You have to bend up so and them thing that me sight lick from everywhere. So blood I jump. Right? So everything look bloody. And I'm thinking like I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. That was terrifying. That was terrifying at the time. And if I did that to my kids today, they probably would draw me out of my house. I'm in the state of Florida. That's what I'm saying. When the youth say, you're sure your childhood was okay? My childhood is good, man. Even the bad beating them was good. Because it was dramatic and I had my cousins who we used to go talk about. We used to rehash the thing like a movie. All right? And your cousin would be like, watch him now. See, you know, when she did lick up on the back, the one that he connect, come hear it like it did wet. Pow! And watch you bend up so, and you go so. I had cousins like those. And when they hear, come here, and anyone I would name call, you knew the tone. And you're like, you're in trouble. All right, me now go. You know go? Grandma call you. Me now go. Where you going to do? Me a runway. You know, we used to run at the back of the house. That was our runway. Run at the back of the house. So we would run at the back of the house and we'd stay around there like this. And Grandpa had now walk around the house because he knows we're around there. Sometimes I think he used to humor us too, because sometimes we used to run to the next side of the house and go around the house and go around the house. It's a nice size house. So we are running around the house and then him slowly just a walk around. I was like, oh God, come. Run to the next corner. Come. Run to the next corner. One day the man pick up a bottle. Fling the bottle, a glass bottle, you know. And fling it, cause we run the house and hide behind one of the corner them and see if him still a come. Someone him still a come. Yes, in there, I come. Push up my head like this. And the man seal the bottle and the bottle lick the wall, right? Here the whole away. This is all of us in a group, you know. We are running around the house. Here the whole away back there. He more kill with Jesus Christ. He more kill with. He fling the back if he kill with. Run. I would run around the house, run around the house. This man don't do nothing but go sit down on the veranda, eat him dinner, and we stay around at the back house. I go inside, go bathe and lay down for the night and everything. I'm on the back veranda. All right, because we're not going nowhere. We have our family burial plot that's close by the back part of the house. So grandma, she said, yes, stay out there. Your great grandmother would love to have a talk with you. At that time, grandma, please, I'm not going to do it again. You never know what you do. All right. And sometimes it's one person do something and all of us are running together. All right. Because that's how they raise them used to. Nobody no want to talk, everybody will get beaten. So everybody run one time because nobody no talk on nobody. And then sometimes we can't take it out. We just tell on somebody else that never did it and these kind of, Simone do it. No, she didn't. But me tired of the lick them. So we'll share some lick today. Sometimes we actually used to decide to share the lick them. Me not going to by myself, you know. I'm going to by myself and take all them lick there. And me get beaten last week. And me I get beaten again. No, the whole way I get beaten today. So me not say nothing. Me I make everybody get beaten. And them I talk about. But are you do it? You need to say you do it. Because me don't want no lick. You're coming here. Hold on. No. You better talk, you know. You better talk. I'm not going there. No lick. Me not talk. Me not talking. You tell them, say me do stuff before when me never do. I'm going there and take lick with you. Come take lick with me today too. I'm going there and take a lick. Right? So it wasn't that kind of so abused and beat down and beaten that. Not them kind of thing. Them. Me don't know what them they like. Now that I look back, it's like so fun to rehash. We were rehashing it back then as kids, even. And I laugh and I run. And even while you know you're going to cry later at some point, but we are laugh and run right now. Well, be a madness. Be a madness. Listen, man, we're 22 minutes past the hour. Big up to everybody that came out. How else can I say it? Jamaica was great to me. Jamaica was great to me. And I realized that a lot of people stay away because they did have traumatic childhood. They did have traumatic experiences or experienced something traumatic. Me never experienced none of that. So pardon me for wanting to return all the time. And pardon me for bigging up that place that is forever a part of me, that shaped me. Right? And big up to each and every one of you too. Like I said, if you're feeling down, depressed and all that, take a trip. Take a trip. It will be well worth it. All right. Big up on yourself. Thank you for being here. Stacey and Williams says, laugh out loud. Yes, SouFLo, my sister and I would get the beating. We wouldn't say who did that. Share the lick them. I'm tired. I take a lick by myself. Come. When I take a lick. And they knew that you did it. Not true? Your sister and your cousin, them, they know say you do it, you know, and them I cuss you, you know. But and it don't make no sense to tell grandma right now, says him. Why? Because if them says him do it, me I go say no, it's not me. So grandma's still not sure. So she just beat everybody. Now when you say yes, it's me, and you alone get dealt with. And sometimes I did that too. I'm gonna take my punishment by myself, but sometimes I draw them into because they used to draw me in when it wasn't me. Right? Oh man, if I could do it all over again, I certainly would. I certainly would. Big up to each and every one of you, man. Continue to share. Continue to share. You see this culture, I say, it can be passed down through by this way. So continue to share, because what you're doing is you're painting hope. You're painting a picture of hope, and who hear it feel hopeful. You see me? When people lose hope, them get hopeless. You ever seen how hopeless people live and act? All right. One love, people. I'll catch you tomorrow morning right here on SouFLoTV. Have a blessed day. All right. Big up on yourself. I'm out. Peace. Oh, and no false sense of security. No spot to that.